Today I'm going to be giving you a crash course on the scrapbooking die-cut machines niche. Now, there are a variety of different products within this niche. However, there is one in particular that I recommend, and as such will be featuring that particular product during this niche training, and that is the Silhouette Cameo. Now, this particular type of product, millions of people have fallen in love with it. It is primarily used by women. However, there are still tons of men that use this type of stuff. I have actually personally used it. My wife owns one of these Silhouette Cameos, and I've even experimented with it myself, and it's actually pretty cool. This niche is actually so popular that the Silhouette and Relational products are actually #1 bestsellers in numerous categories on Amazon, and honestly, this is really just a partial list. #1 in arts, crafts, and sewing. #1 in scrapbooking die-cut machines. #1 in mechanical ratchets and pawls. #1 in die-cut tools and accessories. #1 in scrapbooking kits. Transfer paper, scrapbooking tools, and craft adhesive vinyl. Now, the runner-up in this particular niche is the Cricut brand, something that you may have heard of before, but the Silhouette is really far more popular, and it's kind of taken over this industry. Once upon a time, though, the Cricut was the die-cut machine that everybody wanted to have, but the Silhouette has kind of come along and really taken over this industry. Now, I have some general targeting recommendations for you to help you out with this particular niche. There's one main fact about it that really makes for an excellent opportunity for affiliates to be targeting it. And that is that it can really be downright confusing for a beginner to figure out the supplies that they're going to need to complete particular types of projects, and also how to actually use the machine itself. And part of using the machine also involves using computer software, because you connect the Silhouette up to your computer, and then you use the computer itself. It has software on it that comes with the Silhouette, and you actually make your design on the computer. And then whatever design you make will get printed out on the Silhouette. So there is a bit of a learning curve involved with actually using this product, especially if you want to try to do something a little more complicated with it. And most people, when they are picturing themselves buying something like this, they're probably picturing doing something a little more complicated with it. And that simple fact makes for a really great opportunity for you. So what you want to do is try to help people out. Help them figure out how to do something. Help them figure out the supplies that they need, and help them to feel confident about doing particular projects with the Silhouette, so they will actually want to purchase it. Now, you also have some situations where somebody already owns a Silhouette, and you might have these tutorials geared towards them, to help teach them how to do certain types of projects, for example. And then you can promote the relational Amazon products that they are going to need to be able to do that type of project. So there are really a lot of ways that you could go about trying to provide this type of help and information to people. But the best and potentially easiest and best earning methods that you can use with something like this is, number one, and what's probably the most obvious, buy it yourself and make tutorial videos. Make videos where you're recording your screen and you're showing them the software. Make videos where you're recording the actual usage of the machine and maybe even construction of the crafts that are done with whatever the machine is making for you. Now, something like this can definitely offer a massive potential for bringing in traffic. If you're going to get really in-depth with a product in a niche like this and start publishing videos, you make your own YouTube channel, you can really make something like this extremely profitable for you. However, it will take a lot of work to do something like that. And something else that is important for a lot of people is that it can be a little expensive. You would have to invest in buying a Silhouette Cameo, which can easily run you a couple $100, plus all the accessories and supplies that go along with it that you would need to be able to do all these different projects and tutorial videos. So, you would easily be looking at $400 or $500 likely to get started up with something like that. So that is obviously not going to be for everybody. So how can you make a tutorial about a product that you've never even used and that you don't even own? There are actually a lot of existing video tutorials for this type of stuff. So another option, especially if you don't want to invest a ton amount of time and or money into trying out this particular niche, go out there and check out some of the existing video tutorials. Learn from them. Figure out what some of the main situations and problems are that people are getting into based on what people are teaching you in these videos. And then create your own content on your own website centered around that knowledge, targeting very specific situations and problems and things like that. You can write up an article with some bullet points and steps that people can go through to do certain things without actually having the video to go along with it. And if you're tying this into particular products, let's say you have a tutorial video on how to do a specific kind of craft with it. Along with that, the person might need a couple of certain supplies to be able to do that craft. And so you can enhance your article tutorial with pictures of the actual products. And that kind of stuff can come off of Amazon because you'll be promoting those products directly from that page. In fact, you can make those images clickable, so they click on the image for that and they end up on Amazon and can buy that product. This can be a really effective way of creating a tutorial without actually having to put in the investment And a lot of times you can do this kind of thing quicker than you could creating your own line of video tutorials. So whatever your personal type of preference is, and possibly whatever your budget restrictions may be, try out one of these two methods to create a truly useful site that will attract customers of this particular product. Now, the other side of targeting in this niche has to do with the keyword phrases that you'll be going after, and also what type of customer you might be attracting. Since we are dealing with a really popular product here, the general keyword phrases, things like die-cut machines, are going to have an immense amount of competition, especially on search engines and even potentially on Yahoo. Things like YouTube, if you're going to be publishing your own videos. Now, despite this, there are a lot of really great options for you to target this niche that can have a lot less competition than those standard keyword phrases. Instead of trying to target everything about the machines, since there are so many different possibilities with it in different uses and supplies and accessories and different kinds of projects, you'll really be better off if you pick a closely defined sub-niche within that niche. Even though we're only talking about one specific product here, this just goes to show you how much you can truly break down almost any niche and industry, and a lot of times even one specific product can be broken down into a lot of different subtopics and sub-niches. So the idea centered around this is to pick one of those and to go after it and to try to bring in some ultra-targeted website visitors. When you can accomplish this, you're going to know exactly what products they might be interested in buying. Otherwise, if you just have a website that, say you have a #1 Google rank for die-cut machines, sure, you will bring in a ton of traffic. However, you're really going to be shooting blind as to what that traffic might be interested in buying, because there's so much about die-cut machines. When you also combine that fact with the fact that it would take you an immense amount of work to be able to get a kind of ranking like a #1 ranking on die-cut machines, it's really just not worth the effort in most situations. So you can put in less work and you'll get better, faster results by going after something highly targeted. Now, I have some recommendations here for you on things that you can think about to help you to pick out a topic. There are really two different types of potential website visitors that you might have. And this is just speaking very generally. Within those two types, you could have all kinds of different subtypes that might be interested in using it for a specific purpose. But beyond using it for a particular purpose, you also have to think about whether somebody already owns a Silhouette Cameo or not. And as a result, you need to target your content and what you're promoting appropriately to make sure that will actually line up for both the people that are visiting your site and for your expectations with referring Amazon sales. So number one, specific accessories and supplies can be a great sub-niche, because a lot of times a particular supply or accessory might only be used for a limited group of types of projects. Now, if you're targeting existing owners, people that already own a Silhouette Cameo, you can attract a lot of repeat customers with these accessories and supplies. I'll get into more about these recurring customers here in just a few minutes. Number two, though, is the specific uses for the die-cut machines geared towards people that do not already own one, or people that may be interested in switching from a Cricut to a Silhouette. There are things that the Silhouette can do that a Cricut can't do, because their designs are completely different. So you can actually target Cricut customers who want to be able to do something, but they can't. And those people would be prime candidates to switch over to the Silhouette, and you might be able to sell them the entire bundle, including some accessories to go along with it, but the actual Silhouette itself, which is obviously going to be a higher priced product. Now, you can also go about targeting brand new people that do not already own a Silhouette in different ways, but going after particular uses for them, certain kinds of projects that they might want to do, is going to be your best bet. Now, I mentioned before that I wanted to elaborate on the recurring customers. This is a really big aspect to this particular niche, because besides the actual popularity of these machines, the simple fact that once somebody has one of these products and they use it on a regular basis, they will have to continually purchase new supplies to be able to keep doing projects. Because there are a lot of things with these machines that are used up as you are completing projects and having the machine do stuff. You also have other parts of the machine, things that are actually a mechanical device on the machine that might wear out over time and need to be replaced. In particular, the actual cutting blades that are on these things frequently need to be replaced. Now, this is so important for affiliates because there are a lot of niches. In fact, I would say most of them, you just simply have a customer who buys a product, and once you can refer a sale to that person, there's a pretty good chance that you're not going to refer another sale to that same person again. You have to continually seek out new traffic and new website visitors all the time, or have a constant stream of them coming in to be able to get decent sales with those niches. With this niche, however, you have those recurring customers. So you can actually build up a fan base on a website. Do something like build a newsletter list or a Facebook fan page. And as people visit your website, try to get some kind of way of having future contact with them. Because every month or so, chances are they're going to need to buy some new vinyl or some new transfer paper or something else, depending on what kind of project it is that they are doing. You have the adhesive vinyl in a wide variety of different colors. Transfer paper, replacement blades, sketch pens, cutting mats, all of these things get used up and need to be replaced. Some of them a little more frequently than others, and some of them are a little more costly than others. Your adhesive vinyl, for example, people don't simply need one color. In most cases, they'll end up wanting 10 or 20 or 50 different colors even, depending on what they're trying to do. And a single roll of this stuff can be $10 or $20 easily. So you can really be talking about pretty decent costs associated with this type of stuff, and they use it up, so they have to buy more of it to be able to continue doing stuff. Transfer paper is also something that goes along with the vinyl. After you cut out something in the vinyl, you put it on the transfer paper, and this allows you to move it to actually then adhere it to whatever surface you want it to end up sticking to, at least for the adhesive vinyl. So again, this is something that's a little on the costly side for a single roll of it, and yet you constantly have to use it and replenish it. Now, I really haven't talked a lot about the product itself, what it is, and what it can do. So I want to talk about some of the common uses for it. Now, the product itself, the Silhouette Cameo, and also die-cut machines in general, they are typically used to cut out some type of design on some type of material. Depending on the machine, it might be able to do a variety of different kinds of materials. The Silhouette is so cool because it has that flexibility to it. You can use a wide variety of different types of materials, from adhesive vinyl to greeting cards to normal paper to even things like fabric and rhinestones, and it can actually draw and color designs for you using markers and pencils and stuff like that. So the possibilities with something like this are really almost endless, and that's what makes it such a great product and such a great niche to try to pursue as an affiliate, because there's so much that you can do with it and so much that customers can do with it as well. It's used for hobby types of purposes, people that simply enjoy doing different kinds of crafting that involve getting creative, doing things that are unique, people that like to make their own Christmas presents to give to friends, people that like to make personalized things for other people. And then you also have the business aspect of something like this. There are all sorts of different business possibilities with owning a product like this. You can print out these adhesive vinyl sayings, like right here in the bottom right-hand corner of this picture. You have a simple little saying. It's nothing but words. These words are printed out on a solid sheet of adhesive vinyl. You then put it on the transfer paper, and then you can stick it to a wall, or stick it to a mirror, or a piece of poster board. Whatever the case may be, it can be used, for tons of different situations. Well, people can actually create these and put them on the transfer paper and sell them just like that on websites like Amazon and eBay and on their own website. So you have this easy business potential where people can be creating all these different kinds of crafts and actually selling them, and a lot of people do extremely well from this type of stuff and create full-time livings just from working on a silhouette machine, often out of the comfort of their own home. So consider all this stuff when you're targeting it as an affiliate. You can not only pitch it as really creative and a lot of fun and flexible and a great hobby and all this other stuff, but you can also pitch it as a way to make money, even if it is simply to make a little bit of extra money on the side, to allow friends and family to have a way to do stuff like this. If they want something personalized, you can, print something out for them and make a little bit of extra cash on the side. Now, despite what you are trying to go after, whatever it may be, it's really important to remember that because you have all of this variety and all of these possibilities with this particular product and this niche, it's important for you to be attracting a specific type of user. Because when you get a specific type of user to your website, you can narrow the range of products down and narrow the information down that that type of person would be interested in. And this can result in much better traffic for you and much better Amazon earnings for you as well. So just to give you a few of the possibilities with these machines, and this list is definitely not a complete list. There could probably be hundreds of different project possibilities. So I tried to go a little on the general side here just to give you some ideas to get started with. Things like t-shirt, apparel, and home decor design, where you're printing out a design on heat transfer paper, and then you, for example, iron it to a t-shirt to make your own custom t-shirts. You can do that. Scrapbooking, where people are making different designs and different printouts, different letters and things of that nature that they can put into a scrapbook to make it really unique and customized. Temporary tattoos. This is actually something that is pretty interesting that it can do, and also presents a great market. It's not only a cool hobby, but you can create and then sell your own temporary tattoos. And you can actually be custom designing these yourself. So nobody else out there in the world would be selling your exact tattoo. And then you put the stuff up on Amazon and eBay, and you can actually do pretty well from this type of stuff. Really popular with a younger crowd these days. They have a special temporary tattoo paper for the Silhouette machine, and that is actually a really hot seller. Glass and mirror etching. Not only can the Silhouette cut stuff, but it can actually etch. If you've ever seen like a block of glass that is meant for like being a paperweight or something like that, and it has some kind of message or saying or something like that etched onto the face of it, the Silhouette can do that kind of stuff. It can create custom stamps. It can create custom greeting cards. It can do wall art and labels, all different kinds of things with craft vinyl. Things like what I was talking about before, simply printing out words, or you can print out designs. As you can see, like they have mustaches printed out for their toenails. The possibilities with this are really quite endless. You also have things like rhinestones. This can be used on cards, it can be used on clothing, all sorts of other types of projects as well. And they have cheaper rhinestones, and then they have a more premium designer type of rhinestone, something that you can actually find featured in the product research spreadsheet that is included with this training. There is a Silhouette package that includes the machine and a premium set of, I think it's something like 1,400 rhinestones, and it's like an $800 package. And that kind of brings me to the products, the research spreadsheet that I had just mentioned to you. Some of the top products, the actual machines themselves, and then also accessories that go along with them, have been researched for you and are included in a spreadsheet file that goes along with this lesson. Now you will find in this file the products are sorted into two different categories. One is for the actual machines and one is for the accessories, so you have some separation there, especially in case you are trying to gear a website more towards the people that don't own the machine already and people that do own the machine already. Now with the Silhouette machines themselves, there are really two main types. You have the Cameo, which is the full-size Silhouette, and this is often available in a variety of different bundles for specific types of purposes, like the premium rhinestone bundle that I had mentioned before. You can find that product. It is a bundle with the Silhouette machine and is featured in that spreadsheet file. But then they also have just a plain bundle where you can then kind of build from it with different accessories and stuff for different types of purposes. You also have a Silhouette Portrait. This is a smaller, lightweight Silhouette. It's great for things like greeting cards and other much smaller projects. The Cameo has a 12-inch width that it's going to be able to print, and the Portrait does a much smaller size. So depending on the size of something that you would want to be able to print out in terms of being one solid connected piece, the Cameo can do much larger projects. For example, if you wanted to print out a really large word in adhesive vinyl. The Cameo could print a letter that is up to 12 inches tall. Now, the width of the letter is really not that important because you can feed in an entire roll of adhesive vinyl and it can print it, each word going up the roll of the vinyl. So the size of the machine is really what limits you to doing various types of projects. So keep that in mind if you're trying to push one or the other. The portrait is cheaper, but it's cheaper for a reason, for that particular reason I was just mentioning. So oftentimes people will actually shell out twice as much money to get the Cameo instead of getting the portrait, simply because the Cameo is going to be more flexible, going to be able to do a lot more things for you. Now with your accessories, keep in mind what is listed in this spreadsheet file is by no means intended to be a complete list of all the different accessories for the silhouette. There are so many different uses, and as a result, accessories that go along with it for those uses, that it's simply too many to try to compile all in one place. However, we have featured most of the more popular ones or the essential tools and accessories that go along with these silhouette machines here. One of the main things to pay attention to, something that could likely be promoted along with almost any site that you would build for this niche, any particular use or kind of project that you might want to do with this machine could likely match up to a starter kit that they have. These starter kits just include some tools or maybe some different supplies that you need for doing that kind of a project. They have things like rhinestone starter kits, and they have things like glass etching starter kits. So pretty much anything that you might go after, there might be a starter kit you can do, even though you might only think, well, the starter kit's just for people that would have just bought a Cameo, right? That actually may not be the case. I mentioned previously that my wife owns one of these. She's had one since, I think it's been 14 or 15 months or something like that. I actually think I bought it for Christmas the previous year. She just purchased a starter kit recently. Something that actually kind of inspired me to do this niche training for you guys, because it is one of those recurring selling types of industries. And a lot of times these starter kits will include things for a cheaper price than you might be able to get them for all sold separately. So a lot of times the people that have been using these things for a while will still buy the starter kits. So definitely keep that in mind when you are picking things to promote on your site. You also have other essential things, tools, cutting mats, replacement blades, and of course adhesive vinyl that are featured in this spreadsheet file. And as an added bonus, there are also 5 product review videos included as part of this niche training. You can upload these to your own website to use as you see fit, or you can also embed them directly using the included YouTube links that I have provided. These are YouTube links from my account, And obviously you can't upload the same video repeatedly on YouTube, so you would not be able to upload them to YouTube yourself. However, this allows you to use them in that form if you prefer to do so that way. But you might also be able to upload them to other different video hosting sites like dailymotion.com. Actually will typically allow you to upload a video more than once from different users. So feel free to take advantage of these extra videos and also the added product research spreadsheet that goes along with this training. And I wish you luck in finding a niche within the silhouette industry, and hope it is very lucrative for you.